So we're at the quarter-final stages of the European Championship, and you look at these four ties, there's one really that leaps off the page. Belgium against Italy. And for more on that, let's welcome Gab Marcotti into the show. Gab, obviously from a Belgian perspective, it's all about whether or not Kevin De Bruyne and Eden Hazard will be fit. We heard Roberto Martinez talk about the fact it's going to be a game-time decision. What does your gut tell you?
Well, look, I'm not Nostradamus here. The indications coming from Belgium is that the boys in the Belgian media predict that Kevin De Bruyne will start, Eden Hazard will not. Martinez says we're going to decide closer to game time. I think it's not just a question, especially with Hazard, it's not just a question of is he fit to start, but is he in danger if he starts of breaking down perhaps in the first half and having to go back out. And obviously that wouldn't be good for Belgium.
Overall, Gab, how are you feeling about this tie with your Italian hat on?
Well, look, there's no question. De Bruyne and Hazard in full flow. This is a different Belgium. I think they're a very well-drilled team. I think they were my pick. Well, I know they were my pick to win the Euros. And I think it's the first time that Italy are going to face an opponent like this, an opponent that really has this much quality, and an opponent that is really going to go for them, is going to press them high, is going to keep the ball, is going to attack them. They got a little taste of it at times against Austria, but compared to what they face in the group stage, this is going to be a completely different challenge. And I'm curious to see how Mancini prepares for it.
Yeah, that's my next question then, Gab. Obviously, it's been a pretty settled Italian team, hasn't it, throughout the tournament so far? What changes, if any, are we expecting?
Well, Chiellini is fit again. I don't think he's going to go straight back into the side, simply because they're playing against Lukaku. I think somebody like Acerbi or even Bastoni is probably a better match to deal with Lukaku. A lot of the Italian media are suggesting that Chiellini will start. He was the guy who faced the media. Often that's a hint. So we'll see about that. There's a big call for Federico Chiesa to start after his goal, of course, in the last round. I wouldn't take it for granted. I still think he sees Chiesa as an impact substitute. Maybe when legs are getting a little bit tired on the other side, he can take people on. So I went with Berardi in my starting 11, but you know what? I'm purely guessing here. I genuinely don't know. I think we can be pretty confident about the other 9 names on that team sheet, though.
What's interesting, Ali, is that you look at the round of 16, Belgium-Portugal was kind of the standout tie, wasn't it? And arguably, it was one of the worst games.
Yep.
Is this going to follow suit?
I don't think so. I don't think it's in the makeup of Belgium, and it doesn't seem to be in the makeup of Italy either.
Right.
This version of Italy, anyways. And it really is going to depend as to who is willing to be the team that carries the responsibility of having the possession. Usually in games, you'll have a team that, is more capable and more willing to say, you know what, fine. It's on us. We're going to keep the ball. We're going to maintain the possession. You're going to be more of a counter-attacking team. In this matchup, it's difficult to figure out who that's going to be because of the personalities of the players that are on the field. The importance of the presence of Kevin De Bruyne for Belgium. Not only the presence of De Bruyne, but him being fit and ready to go and actually having an impact on the game is what really tips the scales for me in favor of Belgium. In that he is, of all the players that are out there on the field, when I look at these teams and I say, this is a guy who's different than everybody else, is Kevin De Bruyne. And if he's at his best, I think can find that pass that can break down Italy. In a moment in which everything is tight, when everything is really close, you need something different, you need something magic, he's the guy to provide it.
You look at Italy, obviously they've been tearing up trees, not only in this tournament, but leading into it as well. Fantastic defensive record, unbeaten in 31 matches. You have to go back to September 10th, 2018, when they lost to Portugal by 1-0. Let's take a look at how the bookies have this set. Italy, our favourites then to advance to the semi-finals. What should we do? Should we get some picks? Yeah, let's get some picks, shall we? Frank Leboeuf.
I still go for Belgium, especially if, as Gab said, it's possible that we see De Bruyne on the field.
Right.
So I really think that they're more experienced. It's really the year for them to win something, otherwise it's going to be too late because that generation is absolutely fantastic. I put Italy as a dark horse, at the beginning of the competition when you asked us. And it's possible to have a surprise. But if De Bruyne can be fit enough...
Well, it's not a surprise because they're favourites.
Well, at the beginning it was a surprise.
I know, but now it's not a surprise.
Well, it's still for me a surprise
Right.
because I put Belgium favourite.
Saying.
I don't necessarily listen to the bookies
Okay, well,
who are,
yeah.
who, I don't know if they understand football. So at some point, they put France as a favourite, remember? So now the thing is that's going to be the game. And I think the one who's going to win can go to the final and win the Euro.
What's the score going to be?
But for me, I would say 2-1 for Belgium.
2-1. I'm looking forward to this game, but I was looking forward to meeting Frank, and that let me down. So,
of course, always with me.
what's your pick, Kasey?
Yeah, I think Italy probably on the reverse, probably 2-1 Italy.
You think so?
If I think Lukaku's going to have a great game. He's going to have to do things more individually, I think, than he normally needs to, because I just don't think De Bruyne is going to be fit enough to be able to be that big of an influence. And then if you'd say, okay, Hazard has regained the fitness and the form, but then he's broken down again.
Yeah.
So you think that if you could have one of them in great fitness and form, but it looks like neither of them are going to be. And I think the rest of it doesn't have the creativity that they need against this Italian side.
I'm not sure if you heard, but Gab picked Belgium to win it all.
Ooh.
I'm not sure if he's mentioned that 2 or 3 times.
But I
already.
think that's that reverse that Gab likes to do.
It is.
I'm going to
double
pick
bluff.
Belgium because
the
then,
double bluff.
Yeah, then I won't be as disappointed.
Yeah.
But then if Italy win, then it's just great because Italy wins. Yeah. What do you think,
Okay.
Gab? What do you think? Did I hit it right?
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.